Mitsuo loved his walk to school. It was his favorite part of the day, a time when he could let his imagination run wild and enjoy the beauty of his surroundings. The path he took was lined with cherry blossoms, their delicate pink petals creating a magical canopy above him. Every morning he'd sling his backpack over his shoulder and set off. The weight of the books inside didn't bother him. It was a small price to pay for the adventure that awaited him on his journey. He would wave goodbye to his mother, who always stood at the door to see him off, and then he would be on his way. The air was always crisp and clean in his little hill town. The scent of pine and fresh earth filled his lungs, invigorating him for the day ahead. The town was nestled in the hills, surrounded by lush greenery and the occasional burst of color from wildflowers. Birds chirped in the trees and the sun peeked through the leaves. The morning light filtered through the branches, casting dappled shadows on the ground. Mitsuo loved the way the sunlight played on the leaves, creating a dance of light and shadow that seemed almost magical. The path to school wound through a bamboo forest. The tall, slender stalks of bamboo swayed gently in the breeze, their leaves rustling softly. Mitsuo felt a sense of peace and tranquility as he walked through the forest, the world around him seeming to slow down. Mitsuo imagined it was a magic portal, transporting him to another world. In his mind, the bamboo forest became a place of wonder and mystery, where anything was possible. He would daydream about fantastical adventures, where he was the hero of his own story. He'd often pretend he was a brave samurai on a quest. With a stick in hand, he would battle imaginary foes, his heart pounding with excitement. The forest was his playground, and he was the master of his own destiny. Each day was a new adventure. Mitsuo never knew what he might discover on his walk to school. Sometimes he would find a new path to explore, or he would come across a hidden clearing where he could sit and enjoy the peace and quiet. Sometimes Mitsuo's friend Hana would join him. She was always full of energy and laughter, and her presence made the walk even more enjoyable. Together they would share stories and dreams, their imaginations running wild. She lived on a neighboring farm and had a pet goat named Yoshi. Yoshi was a mischievous little goat, always getting into trouble, but he was also very affectionate and he loved to follow Hana around. Yoshi loved to chew on Mitsuo's shoelaces. No matter how many times Mitsuo tried to shoo him away, Yoshi would always come back for more. It was a game they played, and Mitsuo couldn't help but laugh at the goat's persistence. It made Hana giggle every time. She loved to see her two friends interacting, and their antics never failed to bring a smile to her face. The three of them made a perfect trio, each one adding their own special touch to the morning walk. One day, Mitsuo's class was buzzing with excitement. Their teacher, Mr. Sato, had an announcement. "Class," he began, his eyes twinkling. "We're going on a field trip." The students erupted in cheers. Field trips were always an adventure. They'd visited ancient temples and climbed majestic mountains. This time, Mr. Sato said, they were going somewhere truly special. "We're going on a voyage," Mr. Sato announced, his voice filled with excitement. "We're going to sail across the ocean." A hush fell over the classroom. A voyage across the ocean? Mitsuo's heart pounded in his chest. Mitsuo raced home from school that afternoon. He burst through the door, nearly knocking over his mother, who was arranging flowers in the entryway. "Mom! Mom! Guess what?" he exclaimed, barely able to contain his excitement. His mother, a gentle woman with eyes as bright as the sea, smiled at her son. "Mitsuo, you're back early. What's all the commotion?" Mitsuo told her all about the trip, his words tumbling over each other. His mother listened patiently, a mixture of worry and pride on her face. Embrace the unknown. Section 5. The Mysterious Pyramid. For hours the ship sailed across the vast expanse of the ocean. The crew and passengers were filled with a sense of anticipation and excitement, knowing that they were venturing into uncharted waters. The waves gently rocked the ship, creating a soothing rhythm that seemed to echo the heartbeat of the sea itself. The sun beat down on the deck, casting a warm, golden glow over everything. The students, eager to make the most of this adventure, took turns dipping their toes in the cool, salty water. They laughed and splashed, their carefree spirits a stark contrast to the vast, mysterious ocean that surrounded them. They told stories of ancient mariners and mythical sea creatures, their imaginations running wild with the possibilities of what lay beneath the waves. Songs filled the air, harmonizing with the gentle lapping of the water against the hull. Every now and then a dolphin would leap gracefully from the water, eliciting gasps of delight and wonder from the group. As they journeyed further into the unknown, The ocean seemed to change. The once familiar blue of the water began to deepen, taking on a more mysterious hue. It was as if they were crossing a threshold into a different realm, one where the rules of the natural world no longer applied. The water turned a deeper shade of blue, almost indigo, a color so rich and intense that it seemed to hold secrets of its own. The crew couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and trepidation as they sailed through this enigmatic expanse. The air grew still and heavy, as if the very atmosphere was holding its breath in anticipation of what was to come. The usual sounds of the sea, the calls of seabirds, the whisper of the wind, seemed to fade away, leaving an eerie silence in their wake. A strange silence fell over the ship, amplifying the sense of mystery and foreboding that hung in the air. The students, once so lively and carefree, now moved with a quiet reverence, as if they were intruding on a sacred space. Then, one of the students pointed towards the water. "Look!" he cried, his voice breaking the silence and drawing everyone's attention to the spot he was indicating. Beneath the surface, shimmering through the depths, was a faint blue glow. It was unlike anything they had ever seen before, a light that seemed to pulse with a life of its own, beckoning them closer. It pulsed with an otherworldly light, drawing their eyes towards it. The glow was mesmerizing, casting an ethereal radiance that danced and flickered like a living entity. It was as if the ocean itself was alive, revealing a hidden secret to those who dared to venture into its depths. As they got closer, the glow grew stronger, revealing the shape of a massive pyramid. The structure was enormous, its size dwarfing the ship and its occupants. It was a sight that defied logic and explanation, a testament to the mysteries that lay hidden beneath the waves. It was made of a strange, luminous material, unlike anything they had ever seen before. The pyramid seemed to radiate a soft, otherworldly light, casting an eerie glow that illuminated the surrounding water. The students and crew were captivated, their minds racing with questions and possibilities. What was this structure? Who had built it, and for what purpose? As they stared in awe, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of an incredible discovery, one that would change their understanding of the world forever.